Welcome to Dossier, where every month we pick the 10 games you should consider buying across all platforms. After a strong start to the year, the spring hasn't exactly showered us with amazing games. May is kind of the opposite. It starts a little slow, and then really gets going with some bangers at the end. Keep an eye on our vibe levels in the bottom right corner that show you how Sifted Editorial and its users are feeling about each release. No, Indica isn't your order at the weed dispensary this Friday. It's an adventure game that almost defies description. You play as a Russian nun at the turn of an alternate 19th century, where religion and reality are at loggerheads. She sets off on a journey to deliver a letter, but it turns into one of self-discovery. The twist is that she's accompanied by the devil himself, who constantly whispers sweet nothings into her ear. It's sure to raise some eyebrows with its brave concept and hard mature rating for violence and sexual themes. There's simply no other game like it, and it just might be an early contender for Indie Game of the Year. It seems like crotch rocket motorcycles were a bigger thing in the 80s and 90s, but they've never really gone away. Racing crotch rockets takes guts, even in video games. Enter MotoGP 24, where you strap yourself onto one of these crazy sport bikes and take turns so sharp your knees drag across the tarmac. The industry's premier racing franchise returns with MotoGP 24. This year's game is all about flexibility. While it includes the official 2024 championship license with real riders and tracks, it also includes the Riders Market, which lets you switch teams between each season to keep things fresh. Its more strict track penalties should also keep things seemingly happy. The first Prison Architect is a low-key smash hit. The prison simulator has sold well over 4 million copies at this point, and that doesn't happen by accident. Its unusual setting certainly helps, but the studio behind these games is also extremely dedicated to consistent updates. Prison Architect 2 offers more of the same building and management design, except this time, it's sentenced to a career mode where you can become a prison mogul managing multiple lockups at once. And once you're behind bars, convicts have deeper, more complex personalities that help you build better relationships. Do we really want that? The new 3D visuals ensure you'll enjoy every moment of those walls closing in. Few real-time strategy franchises are as respected and revered as Homeworld. Maybe that's because the games are released a decade apart. Absence makes the heart grow fonder after all, but more likely, it's because all that time allows the development team to make meaningful changes with staying power. Regardless, Homeworld 3 is finally here, and for the first time, its single-player component has been a big focus, alongside a brand new cooperative option. They say in space, no one can hear you scream, but they can definitely hear you clicking your mouse. So layers of tactics have been applied via a new cover system that utilizes the massive megaliths and trenches to provide cover from enemies in the far reaches of outer space. Ubisoft sure knows how to go from 0 to 100 real fast. This is clearly demonstrated by the Prince of Persia franchise. After years of nothing, we've received the 2.5D Lost Crown earlier in the year, and now, just a couple months later, the Rogue Prince of Persia is here to facilitate as much dying as you can possibly handle. This roguelite action-adventure will keep killing you until you learn, improve, and in a nod to most modern roguelikes, increase your overall abilities with each failed run. Your task is to protect the city from a Hun invasion led by waves of possessed soldiers, but it's not just hacking and slashing. The prince also has his full complement of acrobatics and time travel skills. The real McCoy returns to the scene when former PlayStation exclusive Ghost of Tsushima is released for PC as a director's cut. Since its original release, there have been several imitators, but none have matched its beauty or razor-sharp swordplay. Initially, PlayStation games moving to PC was a rocky proposition, but those issues seem to have been sorted out. So of course, it launches with ultra-widescreen and DLSS 3 support, but it also includes the first look at a PlayStation Trophy overlay for PC. There's also crossplay support with PlayStation for its cooperative Legends mode. You get the full game, plus the Iki Island expansion in one package, making it the definitive samurai simulator. Most of us have dealt with a crazy significant other at one point in our lives, but hopefully none as crazy as the Celtic warrior Senua, who experiences psychotic hallucinations that will make your skin crawl. She returns for another trip through the mythical Viking Iceland in Hellblade 2: Senua's Saga, where she suffers through her afflictions to rescue friends who have been oppressed by tyranny. She must overcome the sights and gloriously disturbing sounds that haunt her to deliver victory for those she cares about. It's been a long time coming, as the original game is now almost 7 years old, but creating video games that take you through the dark bowels of mental illness takes time. The GameCube is one of Nintendo's biggest failures, but its software library is still pockmarked with memorable games. One of its best is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. Many consider it to be the pinnacle of the turn-based Mario RPG franchise. Now it's coming to Switch, a lengthy 2 decades after its original release. And while we struggle to say if it's a remaster or a remake, there are some new features. The animations are completely redone, and the papercraft graphics are now in HD. Plus, the dangerous town of Rogueport has a new NPC to help you along, and other quality of life improvements to sand down some rough edges. Its timing-based combat is still unique after all these years, and we're very confident that you won't regret opening this 20-year door. You're probably wondering why Multiversus is in this month's feature because it already launched years ago, right? Well, not exactly. This Smash Bros. Gone Warner Bros. Arena Brawler went through extensive early access periods back in 2022, but then it was simply never released. That all changes this month, as characters from Looney Tunes, DC Comics, HBO, and more bounce around platform-filled arenas bashing each other to bits. The twist is that each player selects 2 characters for each match that will work in tandem. There have been many Smash Bros. Clones across the years, but this is one of the best we've ever played. Codemasters has officially settled into its new life under the EA umbrella since it was acquired back in 2021. The awkward meetings are over, and now both sides can get down to producing excellent racing games. That's been the case so far with the F1 franchise at least. This year's F1 24 is getting a massive gameplay overhaul with its new dynamic handling model that focuses on improving cornering, rolling resistance, and brake pressure. All things F1 heads know are essential to an accurate sim. The new career mode includes the existing Real 20 drivers, plus Formula 2 and icons from the past. Unfortunately, the new reputation system won't change the prevailing negative opinion of Codemasters' recent WRC game. That's it for our rundown of the biggest and brightest video games of May 2024. There are many other purchase-worthy games coming this month, and you can discover your next favorite at sifted.net, where you tell us what you like, and we deliver you a custom feed of awesome gaming content from your favorite sites and creators. If you like any of our other content like Game Face or Pactor Factor, please consider giving us a pledge at patreon.com/sifted. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in June.